And so I'm back with another video. Here we are going to be talking about sweat equity. And just so you know, this is, let me see if I can get it all in there for you. You can read what you can, but I'll read it for you as well. This is just company documentation that I'm going to share with you. As far as the sweat equity recognition packet is concerned from today's board resolution meeting concerning this information. This packet documents and formalizes the recognition of over $1 million in sweat equity contributed to Convenient for You Incorporated, or CV4U, by President Don Evans Thomas II. It includes the official board resolution, detailed valuation of contributions, and a real-world outsourced hourly cost comparison. Together, these materials demonstrate the scale of investment already made in CV4U, the depth of technical and strategic work completed, and the conservative basis for the company's valuation. This packet is designed to provide transparency, accountability, and confidence to investors, bankers, and regulators. So, on this first page, we're talking about the board resolution on sweat equity. I don't want to give out too much information on that because some of it is personal stuff on there, but this is from the board resolution. Resolve that the corporation formally recognizes the sweat equity contributed by Don Evans Thomas II, President. Contributions made since inception include business development and strategic planning, vendor registration, certifications, corporate structuring, multi-phase roadmap, all valued at about $250,000. Technology development, CV4U token contract, liquidity pools, TOML, domain hosting, cross-chain research, valued at about $300,000. Creative and branding development, corporate logos, seals, pitch decks, website, and cross-branding with Wise Guys Entertainment, valued at $150,000. Compliance and legal preparation, corporate resolutions, stock issuance forms, FinCEN, OFI, and ISO compliance research, valued at $200,000. Out-of-pocket contributions, filings, branding, liquidity seeding, subscriptions, valued at $100,000. Total sweat equity contributed to date, $1 million or 1 million USD. This value shall be recognized in the corporate books as paid in capital, non-cash, credited to Don Evans Thomas II. The corporation acknowledges the records and records and follows wallets. I can read these. It's the issuer wallet, the distributor wallet, and the treasury wallet. If you check out the TOML, it's those wallets that's in the TOML file, just to make it easy. I'm not going to read all those letters on here. As of date of this resolution, these wallets collectively hold $17,173 in digital assets. And then it goes and breaks down all that stuff. Let's see here. After the assets that are listed, it's also stating assets categorized on the balance sheet as digital asset holdings updated quarterly. Sweat equity and digital assets shall be used for liquidity pool operations and token stabilization, compliance reserves and regulatory alignment, CV4U application and ecosystem development, farmer onboarding, tokenization pilots, and phase 1 rollout. Treasurer to record contributions under intangible asset sweat equity, $1 million. Paid in capital, Don Evans Thomas II, $1 million. Digital assets, crypto wallet holdings, $17,173.09. Then we have the presidential signature on the document and things like that. Now, Exhibit A is supporting statement of sweat equity. Contributor, President Don Evans Thomas II. Time frame, from its inception to present. Basis of valuation, industry standard rates for leadership, blockchain development, branding, marketing, compliance, legal, and out-of-pocket costs. Total value recognized, $1 million plus. And then it shows the breakdown of all the contributions here. The breakdown. So, Section B, it doesn't have any private information on it, is the actual breakdown, which you could see, you can look at, and then you could go do your research and see if that's too high or too low, if I'm lowballing or highballing. But I'm gonna go ahead on and break this stuff down. This is the sweat equity breakdown, hourly. So for the business development portion and strategic planning, the $250,000 that was stated earlier, broken down. As far as for a startup founder and a CEO/consultant, $150 to $250 an hour. That's the normal going rate per average. A business strategist, a growth advisor, $100 to $175 if I were to go out into the real world and source this position in my company. That's what I would look at paying somebody. You know, if I were to hire somebody for these positions, this is basically what the cost would be per hour. Just to break it down for those who don't know and aren't grasping sweat equity and how it works, okay? So the sweat equity broken down in an hourly rate is basically telling you how much it would cost me to go hire somebody to come work in my business if I were like Amazon or Apple or any other major corporation out there, okay? That's where we're getting these prices from, because this is an S corporation as well, okay? We want professional people that know how to do these jobs. So, startup founder, CEO consultant, business strategist, growth advisor. Now we're on financial analyst and market researcher. I would usually look at paying someone in that position $75 to $125 an hour to do their job, okay? An operations manager, about $50 to $100 an hour. The average effective rate, as far as my experience getting all this stuff done and being able to effectively execute, it's about $125 an hour. The estimated amount of hours that I've put in from the inception of this company till now is 2,000 hours. And that's how it became $250,000 for the business development and strategic planning portion of Convenient for You Incorporated. So now we go into the technology development, which is about $300,000 worth of value, and I go into that breakdown. Blockchain developer for Rust, Sorbonne, and XRPL, about $125 to $200 an hour for an real world sourced asset to function in that capacity. For a smart contract auditor and a security specialist, I would look at paying someone $200 to $300 an hour to do that job. Okay. For a full stack web and app developer, I would look at paying someone in that position about $100 to $150 an hour. A DevOps or cloud engineer, they would get paid about $80 to $120 an hour. The average effective rate in this section of technology development is about $150 an hour worth of value that I've put into here, right? For an estimated 2,000 hours from inception to now, that brings the value of sweat equity to about $300,000 put in, okay? So, section 3, we're going to be talking about creative and branding development, which was valued at about $150,000 put into this company. Creative director and a brand strategist in the real world would cost about $100 to $150 an hour. A graphic designer to make the logos, the seals, the tech decks, that would be about $60 to $100 an hour, give or take. A web designer or UX specialist for like the website is about $75 to $125 an hour. A marketing copywriter, about $50 to $100 an hour. So in this section, average effective rate, $100 an hour. For an estimated amount of hours of 1,500 hours since inception to now, would bring that value on that section to about $150,000 of sweat equity implemented into Convenient for You Incorporated. Now we're on section 4, compliance and legal preparation, which was valued at about $200,000. The corporate attorney that someone would have to hire for this type of stuff, just to let you know how it goes, without you knowing how any of this goes, would cost you about $250 to $500 an hour. Okay? A regulatory compliance consultant would cost you about $200 to $350 an hour. Okay? A CPA or an accountant to handle all the CPA and an accountant that's been going on for a few years now, it will cost about $100 to $200 an hour. Okay. The effective rate of this section, as far as sweat equity is concerned, is about $200 an hour worth of value for an estimated amount of 1,000 hours from inception to today, which would bring the value of sweat equity to, for this section, $200,000. Okay. Now we have the out-of-pocket contributions. The out-of-pocket contributions. This is in section 5. Okay. Out-of-pocket contributions were about $100,000 worth. Okay. Now, out of that section, we have a project manager or an administration support, which would be about $40 to $75 an hour. And that's handling the filings and the business registrations and the domain names and all that stuff, right? Then we have the direct costs for the domains and the filings and the liquidity token and the subscriptions, all the other stuff that goes in behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? That brought that value of that section to about $100,000 worth of sweat equity just put into this, okay? Out-of-pocket costs. So, summary for the investors that are looking and watching this video, wondering why should I believe in what he has going on? What has he put into what he has going on? Does he even believe in himself, right? So, for the $1 million sweat equity that I've put in already, if outsourced, this work would have required 5 to 10 specialists across strategy, technology, legal, and creative fields. Market rates validate the $1 million sweat equity valuation as conservative and justified. Investors should recognize CV4U has effectively secured the work of a full professional team at founder cost. Sweat equity. I'm going to read that part one more time for my investors, okay? This is who you're investing in, not just me, it's the company. I'm behind this company, and my work ethic is being put into this company, okay? So, I'll read it again for the investors, okay? Investors should recognize CV4U has effectively secured the work of a full professional team at founder cost. I can't make this up, bro. I can't make this up. It's on the corporate paperwork, okay? So, with that being said, I hope that clarifies a lot of work, a lot of when we're talking about help, we're talking about people want to help build a company, or they want to invest in something that's organic, that's from the ground up. Understand that this is one of those investments. This is not a money scam. This is not a rug pull. This is a professional corporate entity that I represent and that you would also represent or be investing into. We have more to come in the future. Like I say, this is just the ground floor. Thank you for being here, tuned in. If you're an investor, thank you for investing. If you're thinking about investing, just do your research, ask around, see, hey, do what's best for you.